video. Today we are going to be putting the chains that raises and lowers the hitch on my old John Deere tractor back together. I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you learned something. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, so here we have all the parts and pieces. You can see I got all of them nice and painted up. And these weren't supposed to be black from the factory. These were supposed to be green. But I thought it might look cool if it was black and green. So you can see I got that nice and painted. There's 4 of these, and there's 2 of these, and there's 2 of each of those. So what we're going to do is we take one of these to start, and we put this on like that. Then we take another one of these. And wow, that was so easy. You can see how nice that looks. Alright, so you can see I got this chain laid out here, and basically I painted this black and these green. And before when I got these apart, when I was taking them apart, I put some pictures in right now. They were really yucky and covered in grease and oil because the hydraulic unit on my tractor was leaking oil. And what would happen is the oil would leak down here and cover and get all the grease and stuff all oily. And it was a really big mess. So I cleaned them all up, primered them, and painted them. So you can see I got them all laid out here. And something cool, I'm not sure what other tractors John Deere uses this on, but I know Model M's for sure. They came from the factory with these pins. So if you want to disconnect the hydraulic unit from the hitch, the easiest way would be to undo these pins. So you wouldn't need any tools. You can see it has this thing here that spins around, and then it also has a spring here. So you can see this would attach onto the hitch, and then you can get this straight here, put it right through, push on the spring, turn it. And now that's not going to come out. And then when you want to take it off, you just push it in, turn it, and then it should just pop out. So that's something really cool. I only had one that came with my good tractor, so I went and looked on the back of my parts tractor, and it had 2 actually. So I picked out the best one, and then I cleaned it up, made it look nice, and then we painted it. And yeah, that's what that's for. So we have a bolt for here. This we don't need any bolts for, but you can see on the end here, we need a bolt that goes through here and a bolt that goes through here. So I'm going to go grab 4 new bolts, 1 for here, 1 for here, and 2 on the next one, and we can keep putting them back together. Okay, so I got 2 nice bolts here, and then I have some lock washers and some nuts I can just put on here. And I think these bolts would have been too large to fit in these when they were from the factory, but 75 years of work and use, I think it wore down enough in here so I can put 1 size bigger bolt in here, and it's pretty tight, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I can just put these on. Okay, now we can get a wrench and tighten this one down. This one we don't want to tighten down because this one is going to go on to the tractor. Alright, so we got some a ratchet and a wrench here. We're going to make sure this is on the tightening setting. Alright, so that's on there nice. And we don't want to tighten this one up yet because that's going to go on the tractor. And I'll show you where it goes in a little bit. Good, so that's that one. And you can see how much nicer it is than the before picture I showed you a little while ago. So I'm going to put that right there. Then we're going to get the new ones. Then do the same thing as before. Just slide them on there like that. These are surprisingly in good shape from how much use I bet they got. So, oh, we forgot to do one thing on these other ones. So we have this thing here. We can just pop this in like that. Alright, there we go. Guess we can start by doing this one like that. Like that, push it in. Oops. The paint might have made them a little thicker, so it might be a little harder to put them in. Don't worry, we'll get them. There we go. Good. Now we got that one in. Now we can start putting these bolts in. Okay, good. Now this one's also done. Alright, so you can see we have the finished chain right here. We have the other one right here, and they look very nice. Now, I did mention before, and I'll say it again, that the black and green was not original. This was all painted green, installed on the tractor, I believe. So, this isn't original, but it looks cool, and I like it. Also, I'm not going to be putting them on these. If you don't know what these are, this is basically goes on the rock shaft, and this goes up and down. That's what this connects to right here. But I don't think we're going to be putting them on there today because I want to install this back on the hydraulic unit and then give them one more spray when we paint the whole tractor. Just so we get a really nice paint job on here. But these look like they turned out really nice. You can see that. And then this one also looks like it's in really nice shape. So I'm really happy about that, and yeah, it looks a lot better. And these pins here, these used to go in here, I believe, and they were getting really worn out, and you could slide them in and out by hand, and that's not very good. So I just replaced them with these bolts here, and yeah, that's a lot better. And also you can see these old bolts here. These are a little worn out, I guess you could say. And they just look a lot better because they're the newer style bolts. So yeah, I'm really happy about this, and I'll show you where it goes on if you're not familiar about Model M's hitch system. Okay, so I'm working on cleaning up my tractor right now for painting. And it's kind of boring, that's why I'm not doing any videos on it, and also that's kind of why it's a big mess around here. But don't worry, I'll clean that up by hopefully next video. But you can see, I'll move my broom here. Here's the hydraulic system, and we fixed the leak coming from the rocker. I think it's the rock shaft, that's what it's called. And we sent it off to somebody. He took these shafts out, he bored this out and put a newer style O-ring in there. Oil seal, I guess, and then same with the lever here, because those are known to leak. And mine was leaking very badly. So we got that back yesterday, and it looks great. And then I cleaned it up yesterday and put it back together. But here's the hitch here. So it's not quite a 3-point hitch, but it's the same idea where it's easy to hook up stuff to. But you'll only find these on the John Deere Model M's and MTs. You can't really find them on any other tractor unless somebody put them there, because all the other tractors from John Deere all the other generations of tractors from John Deere came with the normal 3-point hitch, but this is only on the Model M. Basically, those arms I showed you, they come out from this rocker shaft here, and then they hook up to these spots here on the hitch here. Right there, and then that's basically what makes this go up and down, those chains. And it looks a lot better than what was there before. So yeah, I'm really happy about that, and I'm glad we got that back together. Well, I hope you enjoyed this shorter video of how I put these chains back together. If you like videos on my tractor, go check out some of my other videos, and also subscribe so you can see other stuff when I upload it to my channel. I try to do a video every Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'll get to doing one next week, as I am getting very busy helping out with grass mowing and in the chicken barns and stuff. So I might not be able to do one every week, but I'll try. And I haven't missed a week yet. So I hope you learned something, and hopefully I'll see you next week with another video. Thanks for watching.